Hello, student. So today I'm recording some videos related to inheritance and polymorphism. So we started with object-oriented programming a couple of weeks, and we know how powerful is that, right? Correct. Um, we know that we can create a template, like a blueprint, and with this blueprint we can create we can create objects, right, from this blueprint, this template. So we learn a lot, right? However, we can learn more. In this chapter, we're gonna learn about inheritance and polymorphism, that there are some properties that we can use, some techniques that you can use to improve your code, to reduce the number of lines that you're coding using these techniques. So, for example, you're going to notice that you have an application and you design the class student, and you have commuter students, you have resident students. So there are like subclasses. There is like a general class student and subclasses like commuter student and resident student. There are many common things in these classes, and there is something specific for these classes. So in inheritance, we try to group common things in a parent class, a superclass, and then we try to code specific things in subclasses. So let me show you an example that I show when I teach Java. I like that. Let's gonna start learning inheritance with this simple example in real life. Okay, so let's gonna define inheritance with something fun and easy here. What is a vehicle? A vehicle, you know, definition. Move people items from one place to another, right? This is a vehicle, yes. And what about a plane? A plane move people and items from one place to another, right? However, plane has an important characteristic: travels through the air. Okay, got it, professor. A plane is a vehicle, move people item from one place to another, but it has something specific: travel through the air. Got it. What about a car, right? A car, let's see if I can use a presentation. Yeah, much better, right? A car, move people item from one place to another, right? But have something specific. Travels on roads. Okay. What about the choo-choo train? Move people item from one place to another. Same concept, same thing. And what is unique for the train? Travels on rails. Okay, so we have something general, a vehicle, right? That move people item from one place to another. And then we have a specific vehicles, right? With a specific characteristic. I guess you start understanding my point here. Okay? Something general, something specific. Something general, something specific. Okay? So in programming, we define a vehicle, in this example, like the superclass. A superclass. And what about the other ones? Subclasses. So these subclasses are going to inherit the properties from the superclass vehicle. It means that when you're gonna code everything that is general in vehicle. And then you're gonna code specific things in the subclasses. Specific codes in the subclasses. Let me show you, let me tell you an example to understand much better inheritance. Um, I always use this example because it's so funny. It's fun. So I remember when I was 6 years old. Yes, my dad taught me how to play chess. Okay, and when when he was teaching me how to play chess, uh, I learned from him. I He have a method to play chess, and I copy his method play chess. So somehow I inherit uh, the play chess method. However, we were playing right when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but I was not able to beat him. And I remember when I just studied at university, I studied computer science. I was at home with my friends. And my dad show up and told me, "Hey, Omar, you wanna play chess? Come on." I said, "Yeah, now I can beat him, right?" I was taking calculus, many things, crazy thing about computer. Yeah, for sure I can beat my dad now. It was so embarrassed because he beat me in front of my friend, right? And he hugged me and told me, "Hey, who is the master?" Oh my God. It was horrible. At that moment, we don't have internet. It was too limited. So you have to go to the library and rent or get a books, right? So uh, I feel so bad that I went to the library and I get some books about chess. And what I did is improve my methods play chess. So I copy the same opening, the same strategies that my dad have, but also I modified this code. I added more features, more openings, more strategies. So next time I remember about 1 month when I play chess with my dad, because it was the same thing, I was at home with my friends, study math, and then he came and told me, "Hey, wanna play chess again?" I said, "For sure, Dad, let's gonna play." For sure, I was practicing like the entire month just with the books and practicing in a club, a chess club, something like that. So I play with my dad, and finally I beat him. I hug him and tell you, "Hey, daddy, hey, who's the master now?" So what I did here is that I heard his method play chess. That was good, but I added more code, more lines to make that better. Got it? This is what we're gonna do here. Other example, my dad cooked really well. Peruvian food, I know for sure you try Peruvian food, right? Okay, he cooked ceviche. It's delicious. You for sure try that. So his recipe, it's perfect. I don't want to modify that. So I inherit his recipe and I didn't modify any code, any line of code because that is perfect. So if someone try my ceviche and my dad's ceviche, it's the same thing because I follow all his recipe exactly. So in this case, it's different that I do play chess because in the play chess method, I inherit and I added more code. So you can do that. For example, here in the vehicle, you have the set class that inherit move people item from one place to another, but also you're gonna add that it travel to the air, right? Same things. Do play chess, inherit that, but also I added more code, more strategies, right? In the ceviche, cook ceviche, I inherit and use exactly the same thing. So as you can see, you can do many strategies with inheritance. You can inherit everything from the parent class or superclass, okay, and reuse that in the subclass. Also, you can inherit that and then modify, add more line of code to the existing method that you're going to inherit from here. So you can override the method, or you can just inherit that. This is something that we're going to cover in some minutes. Okay? Let me see if I have another example here. The relationship. Okay? So an airplane is a vehicle. A car is a vehicle. A train is a vehicle. They are a vehicle. There is a relationship between the superclass and the subclasses. Okay. See this example. This is UML. Okay. A general UML diagram. They doesn't follow exactly the Python UML diagram that we were covering, but it's going to help us to understand what is the importance of inheritance. See the class here, resident student, and then commuter student, and pay attention of the attribute. How many attributes do we have in resident student? How many attributes do we have for commuter student? Okay. How many methods we have in resident student, commuter student? And let's gonna see, analyze these classes. Resident student, commuter student, both have name, both have major, and resident student, since are students that live on campus, they have the attribute dorm cost. Float double. And commuter students have name and major as well. However, since this is a commuter student, they have to park. So if they have to park, they will have to pay for parking costs, for example. Okay. And then we have set name, set major, set parking cost, set dorm cost, get name, get mayor, and get dorm cost, and get parking cost here. Do you notice something similar between those classes? So if we code resident student and then we call commuter student, we're going to have similar code, right? Maybe duplicated code like name and mayor, like this. Take a look at that. Do you see what is in common now? Both have name and mayor. Both have set name and set mayor, the setters. Both have get name and mayor, accessor getters. So instead of to repeat the code in the class resident student and repeat similar code in commuter student, what about this? A general class, something that have the common characteristic, the common attribute and methods. The class is the superclass or the parent class called student, something general, with a common attributes, name and mayor, with a common setter and getter, accessor, mutator, and accessor getters. Set name, set mayor, get name, get mayor. And what about the other attributes that are specific for the classes? What about this? We're going to have a subclass resident student and another subclass commuter students. In the resident student class, we're going to have only the specific, it's only for resident student, dorm cost. Of course, we're going to get the setter and the getter, set dorm cost and get dorm cost. What about commuter student? The same thing. You're gonna go, you're gonna put just the specific characteristic and method there. So what is unique in commuter student? Parking cost. Of course, you're gonna have the setter and the getter. Set parking cost and get parking cost. So by doing so, you're gonna optimize your code. You're gonna reduce the number of lines, right? It's gonna be easy to maintain. Instead of to repeat the code, you're gonna optimize your code now. You're gonna code a parent class, a student with a common attribute and method. And then you're gonna code a subclass, resident student with a specific attribute and method. Another subclass, commuter student with a specific attribute and a specific method. By doing so, we're optimizing now, right? Our code. Okay, so let's gonna code now in Python the superclass and the subclasses. So until now, let's gonna stop the introduction and let's gonna use PyCharm to code these classes, superclass and the subclasses. So let me stop this video now.